Welcome back. As you know, I am Eli, the computer guy, here for the Daily Blob to give you your daily dose of roars about the insanity of the technology world so I can earn some YouTube money so I can fund a Silicon Dojo. Free to use your hands-on technology education in Durham, North Carolina. We just did a class on AI and web scraping last night. We have other AI classes coming up. If you're interested, take a look at our schedule at silicondojo.com. If you want to help support the education things that I do, there's a donor box link down below. And with that, it must be nice being rich. It must be nice having all the money in the modern world, right? They talk about the K-shaped recovery. They talk about the K economy we currently have going on. It's interesting. I was listening to one of the NPR money shows when I was driving back from Durham this morning, and it was talking about how the K is getting steeper and steeper and steeper. And I'm not sure when we all decided that a K-shaped economy was like okay, right? The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. We have now simply rebranded that as a K-shaped economy. The problem is with the K-shaped economy is the rich basically have all of the resources and the people that aren't rich don't have all of the resources, and everything kind of goes to hell. And so that's kind of interesting going on right now with the whole AI fraud that is occurring, right? With Sam Altman trying to invest $1.4 trillion in CapEx expenses for his artificial intelligence fraud that he is committing, with XAI, with Anthropic, with all these companies. One of the things I've been talking about for a while is that basically the hardware resources for just normal computers is getting sucked up into this idiocy. DRAM and the flash storage, even platter drives, right? They're becoming harder and harder to get your hands on. The prices are going up more and more and more. And so one of the big issues for a lot of companies out there is what happens when the price for your materials, your resources go through the roof, and the ability to actually get your hands on it becomes difficult. We talked about this with Dell. So Dell and HP Enterprise, I did a video a little bit ago talking about this, where literally they may only get 40% of the RAM that they order. And this is Dell. This isn't like Tim's computer building company down on the corner in Asheville that can't get RAM. Dell might only get 40% of their order for RAM. And so the interesting thing to see is that Apple is coming into this mess, and they're just throwing cash around. They're like, well, here's the thing. We got all the cash, so we're just gonna take whatever the hell we want. So in this horrible idiocy that's going on, Apple just secured more than half of TSMC's most valuable asset, their chips. So basically half of TSMC's production is going to be going to Apple because they can pay for it. Apple continues to dominate the tech landscape as a powerhouse in consumer electronics and services, with its stock delivering robust returns for investors amid the AI boom. Valued at over $4 trillion, the company thrives on its integrated ecosystem where custom silicon plays a pivotal role in driving performance gains across iPhones, Macs, and emerging AR/VR. By prioritizing in-house chip design through Apple Silicon, Apple reduces dependency on external suppliers while enhancing efficiency, power management, and AI capabilities. This strategic focus on semiconductor innovation not only fuels product differentiation, but also positions Apple for sustained growth in high-margin segments. The tech giant just gave itself a strategic advantage over rivals by securing over half of TSMC's 2-nanometer production capacity for 2026. So 2 nanometer, when we talk about nanometer, that's the smaller is better. So 2 nanometer is the current best standard for chip design. And so basically Apple has come in with the biggest wad of cash and basically said, we'll take half of your 2 nanometer chips for the year. Fuck. This deal underscores Apple's proactive approach to chip supply amid surging demand from the likes of Nvidia, Qualcomm, and others for advanced semiconductors, demand that far exceeds TSMC's current and projected supply, even with production ramping up significantly for 2026. TSMC, the world's largest contract chip maker, plans to ramp up mass production of its 2-nanometer process by late 2025, with Apple earmarking the capacity for upcoming products like the iPhone 18, MacBook M6, and Vision Pro R2. The agreement extends to the foundry's expansion efforts, including accelerated 2-nanometer development at its Arizona facilities. So basically, as the Arizona facilities get up and running, Apple will take half of that too. So Apple is just coming in and just saying, we'll take half. We'll take half. And so this just kind of highlights, I think, one of the big problems that we're going to have for a lot of people in the technology industry for the next couple of years as the AI fraud continues, is basically all of the hardware is going to be siphoned up by the people that have the biggest pocketbooks. One of the fascinating things being in the technology world for about 30 years now, almost 30 years. You realize March 1996 is where I shipped off to basic training. We are getting really close to 30 years in technology. One of the fascinating things in the technology world is just how the price of hardware has just plummeted. I mean, the fact that, these Raspberry Pis, right, Raspberry Pi. I mean, this is a Raspberry Pi 4, right? You can buy a Raspberry Pi 4 for like $45, right? This is more, as they say, this is more powerful than the first server I used to administer. But it really is true, right? We have been in the cycle of hardware becoming ever more ubiquitous and ever more inexpensive, right? And that's driven an IoT revolution. That's driven just technology in absolutely everything. And that's kind of the path that we've been going down for a decade and a half at this point. I think what's interesting now, again, with the whole AI fraud that is going on, is that fraud is now sucking up all this hardware, right? All this hardware capacity is being sucked up by these con artists so they can pretend to actually be doing something valuable for society. And the issue is that's going to take it all off the market, right? Again, if Dell, think about this, if Dell can only get 40% of the RAM they order, what the fuck does that mean for everybody else? And then you have a company like Apple come in, right? Apple's worth $4 trillion, only slightly less than Nvidia. So if they need hardware, they just throw just piles of cash around. And so what's that going to do basically for everybody else? I think this is going to be a big thing to be thinking about when you start thinking about your architectures, when you start thinking about your infrastructure, is basically what happens when hardware gets expensive again, right? We've been in this world where everything has been very inexpensive. It's been easier to just simply rip out and replace. What happens when, actually repairing your equipment actually starts to make a lot more sense? What happens when you need to start pushing out those refresh cycles? What happens with all of that kind of stuff? As I've talked about before, is it time as a CIO, CTO to actually start taking Linux seriously on the desktop, right? I think there's a lot of stuff to consider, because this is just going to get idiotic. This is going to get idiotic. And when does the bubble burst? I think that's an interesting thing. Like, I've been listening. Again, my guilty pleasure when I go to hotels is watching CNBC in the morning. Oh, look at how sexy I am. Oh, CNBC. Oh, Andrew Roth Thorkin, you talk to me, boy. Anyways, I think the interesting thing there is you hear a lot of people talking about like bubble. And one of the things they say is, well, even if it's a bubble, you don't really know when it'll burst. That's the thing about bubbles. They can go a long damn time, right? If there are enough stupid people out there that can be conned into believing the bubble is real, that bubble can go a long time. So we talk about this AI bubble. I talk about this AI bubble, and you think, oh, it'll pop in December. It'll pop in March. This bubble might keep going for another 2 years. Will it fail? Yeah, it's going to fail. But we don't really know when it will fail. And so all the distortions it's created across so many markets are going to continue until everything goes boom. And so And so that's something to consider. And then once everything does go boom, we're probably going to go into a little bit worse than an economic kerfuffle. And so that's the other thing to be thinking about is with your infrastructure, can you survive when the economy goes boom? So anyways, something to think about there. Yeah, so Apple basically just ordered half of TSMC's 2 nanometer production for all of 2026. How do you feel about that? How do you feel that the people on the top of the K can get whatever they want, whenever they want, and basically everybody else can suck it? Do you feel like the economy's working right? Do you feel like, yeah, that's how the economy should work? This is good. I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. If you hate these videos, give us a thumbs down. Call me amazing, call me a dumbass. Just be a real Lutnick and put that strong American comment down below. Do remember, I scream about technology in order to fund a Silicon Dojo, a third gatekeeper list, free to the end user, hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is you want to do in life. In Durham, North Carolina, we just did a class on AI and web scraping literally last night. We have other AI classes coming up. If you're interested in attending in-person classes, take a look at silicondojo.com to see what our schedule is. If you would like to help support the education that I do, there is a donor box link down below. And with that, I'll see you all later.